today I want to speak a bit about when St Mark's left, when they decided to leave Northwick Park Hospital, and just a bit about how, you know, things were left at Northwick Park Hospital. And the reason why I feel I need to go back a little bit before I get to the present day, because you need to have all that substance before I jump into, do you know what I mean? The present day and how things are. So they just up and they left. They made that decision basically. So anyway, they made this decision that they needed to evacuate. That was that. They obviously made that decision that they were going to take the priority patients, because obviously the most vulnerable, I guess. They made that decision. I mean, can you even begin to imagine that them sitting down in like a, do you know what I mean, in the meeting room? Can you imagine that they're just sitting around there, nurses, doctors, you know, head consultants? Can you imagine them sitting down there just being like, right, okay, well, she can stay. Definitely they'll go, okay, we'll have them do this, yeah, but they're coming with us, coming, maybe perhaps they can be discharged soon, and definitely coming, and the rest of those. Can you imagine if it was like that? Can you imagine that? Isn't that scary even within itself? COVID time wasn't even a joke, right? COVID time wasn't even a joke. So really and truly, what do you mean priority? What do you mean taking patients that were priority? What does that mean? How do you even prioritize the already prioritized patients? Your patients that come through your door are already prioritized. They don't go to a medical ward or a gastric ward or certain other particular wards. They go to your ward, which was intestinal failure unit. It was IFU. They're under you for a reason. We're with you for a reason, right? So anyway, so they made that decision. They took who they needed to take and left whoever they needed to take. Well, let me tell you a little about the mess that they left behind. Then, I'll tell you a little about the mess. So here's the thing. And I know that because I was in and out of that hospital at that time, and I was also spent a long period of time also in Central Middlesex Hospital when they moved. But you know, they obviously done the best that they could do. You know what I mean? But anyway, no. This is what I wanted to say. Listen to this. So here we go. So listen. So they evacuated, right? They evacuated everybody. Can you imagine? You just didn't evacuate the patients, though, did you? Well, you couldn't, could you? You took everybody with you. You took all your best players with you. You took all the best doctors. You took all the dietitians. You took the creme de la creme. We can't mention names. You took the creme de la creme. Okay, that's fine. For who? Who was that fine for, St Mark's? Who was that fine for? Because you just dumped the rest of them at Northwick Park Hospital, yeah? Without your players, You just leave them with, yeah, of course, we leave them with our gastric team, we'll leave them with our, you know, our medical team, stroke gastric team, we'll leave them on Frederick Salmon Warman ward, because fair play, some patients do bounce off and off of there, yeah? Sorry. So we get that, right? But it doesn't change the fact that 9 times out of 10, we're on your ward. And we're not just on, and we're not on your ward just because you happen to be based there, you know, or do you know what I mean? I'm trying to say, like, we're not just on your ward. All right, we're not just on your ward just for the sake of, like, you know, all our team are there. That's our ward. Everything is there that we need. And it's not just that. Look how it's safe. It's a safe zone. And the reason why it's safe in that zone, we know, because of the training of these nurses, of the team. That particular training is why we're with them. So us being with them, do you know what I mean? That's all of us. That's ours. That comes with whatever your condition is that's made you go through that door of St. Mark's, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't be there. We wouldn't be a part of St. Mark's then. That comes with all that training of whatever you get to. The red coats, all these specialist people around. Oh my Lord. Excuse me. If that's the case, we'd be sent to any dietitian, wouldn't we? We'd be sent to any nurses. It would be like that. What I'm trying to say is, I'm just trying to sort of like explain that the importance of them. So we're umbilically corded to them. Yeah, whilst we're on TPN, do you know what I mean? All those kind of treatments under them. I'm only speaking what I'm on, but treatments under them. Do you know what I mean? We're dependent on them. We're umbilically corded to them and their team of expertise. All of them. So here's the thing. For those patients that know and they've been on that ward, yeah, under St. Mark's, I just say that, yeah. It's there will always, there's no, you already know the difficulties if you do try to go to another hospital, or you know what I mean. Some half of the time your GP don't even, do you know what I mean, don't even want to get involved. Other hospitals, don't you sometimes find they just don't want to touch a St. Mark's patients, do you know what I mean? It's just everybody seems to be referring, them. We seem to get referred back to St. Mark's, yeah? St. Mark's Hospital. And so really, there's nowhere else to go, if it were. We applaud them. We respect them. There's no doubt about that. We know what they do for us. Jesus, sometimes don't you think about them and you almost feel a bit choked up, a bit overwhelmed? Sometimes don't you think to yourself, haven't you ever thought even sometimes, oh my God, what would we do if that person died? Have you felt that weird, crazy, umbilical corded feeling? What would we do if that person left? Or, oh my God, what if they died? Or what if they move on? Or, what if they go away and have a baby or whatever, they just leave? Or, don't you know, your heart starts beating, you start getting frightened. We're corded to them. So whilst we're, like I said, we're in receipt of this treatment with them and under their umbrella, but that's it. And like I said, they've always been known to umbilically cord their patients. The reason why I'm blowing up the umbilical cord business is simply because when they left, some of those cords were cut. It came like out of sight, out of mind. That's exactly how it was. And and even if I'm saying like, oh, poor us, we were just left there to kind of fend for ourselves, if it were. And equally I feel sorry for the staff if they claim it was just like a lastminute.com, then equally it must have been still a lot for the staff to take on these patients too. Because like I said, we're not on the 9th floor. Obviously we were when it was there. We wasn't on the 9th floor just for the sake of being there, because it just happened to be just any ward. We're amongst those team for a reason. When you get admitted, you're getting admitted to that ward for a reason. They're not putting me on a medical ward or whatever. Do you know what I mean? 9 times out of 10. So why did they believe? So how come all of a sudden, because of the COVID, or and your departure, did you believe that they're going to be safe? Number one, the COVID team, but number two, weren't you concerned about the care that they were going to be given? Was you not concerned about the expertise, the team that they weren't going to be getting? Were you worried about that, St Mark's? Was you not concerned about that? Look at all those complex patients that you've got that still up to now go in and out of Northwick Park Hospital. Well, they ain't got a choice, have they? Because of course the new hospital, access denied. Try and go to the A&E. This is another thing I'm not understanding. Doesn't make sense, does it, to me? That you picked up and you left. So you found this hospital, it's beautiful as it is, you've relocated there, you're getting yourself sorted out in there and it's all fantastic. And just like you quoted in your St Mark's thing, I think you said that, you're making it a number one, like I said about the COVID thing, you're making it a COVID-free hospital. It's going to be, you're really sorting it out, you're doing your thing for your patients, For what patients? What patients are you talking about? What patients are you talking about? Listen, I don't even know how some people aren't even concerned. Because look, we've already had the issues normally when we go into Northwick Park Hospital. We already know how difficult it is at the best of times, right? Right. So we know even more so, getting into hospital. Oh my God, last year, just Christmas time maybe, I was already in A&E. I was there for like 16, 17, 18 hours. Me and my daughter was standing up against a wall for that long. And that's not so bad, right? That's bad enough, but hey, it's what it is, right? But by the time I got in there, do you think there was number one, by that time, the time is after 5, and for everybody that knows, my dear God, don't get a line infection and don't be sick, don't need the team. God help you if you need the team after 5 or 6 o'clock. God help you if you need St Mark's Hospital, any of them team players after a certain time. Holy sugar. Holy moly. You could be in there and it's already hard enough. But you know what's disturbing, and I don't get how it even fits in the new hospital. We want to get everything under the same umbrella. No, you're going to get whoever you want under that umbrella. I don't even get this new system of yours. Because how is it half? What kind of system is that? What's going on here? And if that is how you're doing it, then how are you deciding who stays where and what's what? How are you even calling it for what it is? This is what you're doing. You go to Northwick Park Hospital because this is what we do know. This is our facts. I've been in, like, if you go in there if you have a line infection or some sort like that, then there's no need for you to go to St Mark's like you would go to IFU. There's no need for you to be referred to Central Middlesex Hospital. Stay at Northwick Park. If you've got any other little related problem with your stoma and whatever, because they're the gastric team, do you know what I mean? You don't need to go over there. If there's anything else, they've got the vascular team there, you know what I mean? And so you don't need to go there. In fact, there's many, it seems like, I don't know what's going to get you over there. I met a woman that was very, very poorly up on Sainsbury's ward. I'm sure it's Sainsbury's ward or Salisbury's ward last year. Or the year before even. And and they wasn't even transferring her over there, which I could never believe. I found that hard to believe. Because if anyone should have been referred over there, she should have been. So here's what I'm saying. Once upon a time, you had us all under the same bubble. A line infection, anything, whatever it was, we was all under you, right? And so now all of a sudden, because of your new system, because of the new move, it's a case of they have to stay there, they can be treated there, we can just leave that there, do this, we just leave them with the gastric team and whatever. Have you seen these gastric wards? Again, I'm still going to keep reflecting back to IFU and the team up there and the wards, the aseptic training, the aseptic cleaning. It's a bit even more different the way they do certain things to other wards. But then you've just got us lapsy in gastric, do you know what I mean, or certain stroke medical wards, and you're okay with that? Are you okay with that? So because of your change, a lot of your patients, they end up suffering. It's not like when if it was your if it's your normal hospital, if it's your, like I said, if it's your normal team, you know, that know you. And this is the problem. This is what's so disturbing, because they know. That's why. See, that's why it keeps going back to this umbilically corded system. You're umbilically corded to them. They have umbilically corded you to them. And you know this to be true, because when you're cut off, then you see just that. I don't know what category you have to be in to get into Central Middlesex Hospital, to St Mark's. Only they know what patient's category. I don't know how we're doing this. We're doing, obviously it can only be two things, right? It has to be like, obviously, you know, they're obviously it has to be how sick you are, I guess, and naturally a colour code. Well, what else could it be? Because you're not having us all over there, or the ones, do you know what I mean? It makes no sense. Gosh, let's just take a breath for a second. Let me just reminisce about some good times on IFU ward. I mean, I do believe they used to have service animals coming in as well. And I do remember a time when they used to have I don't know if they're part of the hospital, but this dog used to come around and just like make people feel good and stuff like that. Yeah, we had some patients that had those allowed to bring their service animals in. I mean, if I'd known that was going on, you know, that's how comfortable we were, right? I would have bought my pit bulls then. Got them trained and bring them in. And my donkey, my iguana, my 2 pigs, and my canary. Sorry, you know, right now there should be something going along in it, or like, you know, along the screen, like animals going 2 by 2, or maybe the song, the animals went in 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. Oh my God! Oh wow! The comforts of of some God. And also, if my memory is on point, I remember a time when, you know, you could play music in there. I do believe there were some patients that used to have instruments in there. So, you know, we cater for who we need to cater for. I'm in a band. I'm in a rap band. I don't think they would have liked me. I don't think they would have liked if I brought my you know, my band in with all the, you know, the equipment and the sound systems. Would that have been allowed? It's what it is. You just have to slot into whatever it is. You have to shut up and be quiet and just take it, because they know best. Ain't like nobody's ungrateful for the treatment that you're giving them. We know. You're our lifesaver. You're our lifeliners. You're our lifeliners. Oh my God, it's my first. You're our lifeliners. Whilst people on this TPN, that's why I said about the umbilically cord. They become your lifeliners. And everybody that fits, all those staff members that play the role in there, they become your lifeliners. And that's the truth. So again, can you imagine tearing that away or making it difficult to get to them? Have you thought about it? St Mark's, have you thought about that? Have you thought about that? Because I can tell you something. There's been some times when you've left my arse in your Northwick Park Hospital, and you know, they must have thought I was flattered because I was on the I think it was once a private ward. Like, who gives a damn? And then they're just like, oh, you have a room with a view. Who gives a damn? I want to be taken care of. You know, I expect to see my team. I don't expect to be. And what made it worse for me? This is really terrible. And that's what I'm saying about not having certain team players there. There wasn't no one there. And let's be honest, we know how boashy and cocky and like, oh my God, arrogant some of those gastric doctors can be. Come on. Come on. Come on. You can't tell them nothing. You can't tell them anything. Try and tell them what you might need. Try and tell them how you're feeling. Or that you need this or that you need that. No, they're not having any of that. Because they know it all. It's like you know, you're thinking to yourself, are you actually looking at my notes, doctor? So you know that I'm on TPN. This is a prime example. It's happened a few times. They know that I'm on the TPN, so obviously they know, because they already know that the patients that they left, you know what I mean, over there, so they know. Supposedly. I've been in there. If I tell you how many times I've been in there, if I tell you how many times I've been in there, left there, there's no red coats. There was no red coats. You know, the ones that do the veins, and they know your veins very well for some patients. Because they're experts, aren't they? They know St. Mark's patients and how to deal with those veins, those problematic veins, those people that don't hardly have veins, damaged veins, right? So they're special. Those patients are special. How dare you just leave them wherever you want to leave them? Huh? Let me tell you about this time. Yeah, I'm sorry. This time, listen, I think they attempted to cannulate me over 18 times. I have a video somewhere. Over 18 times. Of course I'm going to start recording. Well, after about 6, I'll even blind you a little 5 times. 6 times. What? You think I'm not going to start recording your ass after a certain time? Are you kidding me? And some people might think, oh my God, why did you let them do that? And even some of the doctors even said, oh my God, why would you let them do that? Why do you think? Why do you think? Number one, I saw you left us with, and I know I need to be cannulated because I've been here for 6 days already and I haven't had any fluid. They brought the surgical team. They brought someone from the surgical team. Someone from a surgical team to come and try. They brought oh my God, who's the other person? Someone from the vascular man, the team. He couldn't do it. Do you hear what I'm saying? 6 days. This time my gut was already going wild. I'm trying. I have to. So now I have no fluid. I have to be careful around what I'm eating, because you know when you come on now. For those that know, when we're unplugged, when we're unplugged, right? We just go wild. I practically had to starve myself. The amount of little water I was sipping. So when I said to the doctor, you know, we need to sort some stuff out here. Do you understand what I'm saying? We need to sort this out. But you know, like I said, good old gastric team that you left us with, they know it all. They simply said, oh, you know, well, you know, you've got, make sure you're eating, make sure you drink lots of water. Make sure you drink a lot of water. Make sure you drink a lot of water. Right. So that means that, so basically what I'm on at home, the 2.5 litres, nearly 3 litres, so I'm on that for the sake of what? I'm being watered for what every night? Is it some joke thing? It's obviously for a damn reason. And then I'm coming into hospital for that long and just being treated like that. Let me tell you, when I left the hospital, listen, my daughter had to bring a wheelchair for me, you hear me? My feet were punctured and my arms and my hands were punctured. And I'll allow you to do that. Because I don't want to be in your hospital. I want to be home. I want to be well. But how dare you? But how dare you? And then when I try to communicate with you and allow you to know what's going on the other side, You just want to be, you're just like this. Anyway, so, yeah, so how, what? Excuse me? Let me tell you something, St. Mark's. Until we become some kind of cybernetic objects, or, you know, like robots or whatever, that kind of thing, until we become that like, iRobot thing, until we become that, then treat us like human beings. Treat us like patients. Don't treat us like, well, do you understand? So it's been hell over there. Many of the wars that you've been over there, it's still a fight. You're happy? I'm telling you, if you see somebody, if you see one person in a team that comes round, listen, that person could be a cook at Northwick Park Hospital. There could be someone that used to be a cook in there or something. And believe me, you'll be like, you just be so happy to see them. You always want to jump on them just because you're seeing a familiar, right? That's messed up. That's messed up. So where do we get that care from then? Because even when some of the wards that I've been on, you know, obviously since they left Northwick Park Hospital, some of the wards I've been on, they're not the kind of wards that these St. Mark's patients are not meant to be on those kind of wards, especially because of infection, let alone the whole COVID drama and whatever. Do you hear me? So you've left us out to fend for ourselves anyway. You've left us vulnerable anyway because of your good old prioritising system. How does that work for you, St. Mark's?